What's up, y'all? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Biz Buzz Live. I do that to get you to stop in your feed, right? Like, because I know if you're on LinkedIn here on YouTube, you might just be kind of thumbing through, and every once in a while, you need to see someone be like, hey, right here. This is what you need to be listening to. So we're excited to be back live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. Again, another day that we get a chance to have some good conversations around what's happening out here in the world, most specifically what's happening here in America when it comes to us earning money. And as always, we have a topic for you today that, again, I think just resonates, hits home. A bunch of people are dealing with this, especially as we get back into this school year, this brand new school year. It's we need to talk about kind of how people are feeling about it from an educator's perspective, but also from a child's perspective, like what's going on over here. Let's talk about it today. Stay tuned. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Biz Buzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, helping you through all things finance. We're live right now on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. Feel free to drop some comments down here in the chat if you're hanging out with me today. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to share this with somebody. Like it, subscribe on our YouTube, all those good things. I never say that enough because I almost think like, if it adds value to you, you should want to subscribe. But then I know me, like my own behavioral patterns. And like I watch plenty of things and I won't subscribe or like follow for a while. So if you're like me out there, don't be like me. Press the subscribe button. Give us a like, give us a share, right? The more people we can get this information to, the better it is. We really think that we are helping some people, one by our what we're hearing in our DMs and the conversations people are having, the messages we're getting, the one-on-one conversations we're having with people that have watched the content, or it sparks an idea here on LinkedIn or whatever the case is. So one, I'm super grateful for everyone that is paying attention, that this is adding value. Feel free, again, drop comments if this adds value to you, what exactly does, all those types of things. But we want to be able to get this to more people that need the value, more people that need to make some shifts, especially in how they're thinking about earning money. You guys know the thesis here over here on Biz Buzz Live. Those of you that have stuck around for a little bit of time, you know that the reason why we started the show is because I've been here in the financial space for some time now, going on 13, 14 years. And I think we've done a good job. And like I've seen the industry change. I've seen our niche, our segment of the financial services industry change a bunch over time. And I think where we're at is we've done a good job of talking about products. We've done a good job of educating on strategies. We've done a good job on helping people get out of debt or being able to like have their money tracked on a spreadsheet that Bank of America gives you or Wells Fargo gives you. I think we understand a little bit more about our estate plans or insurance. I feel like we know a lot of these things. Here's what I think we're living through, and where I think we haven't done a good job as an industry is we haven't done a good job of teaching people how to earn money, how to make money, right? Like how to bring it in. We're very focused on where the money goes. We're very focused on how high, the cost of living is, and our economy woes, and prices of houses and prices of groceries and gas and all the things. We're very tuned in as a society to those things, right? Very tuned into inflation, very tuned into all those things, very tuned into our stock market and our 401ks and all the things. Like we get that side. Here's what I don't think people know is how do you spot how do you earn money? How do you spot a good opportunity to make money? How do you bring in and generate more money for your household, for your family, so it can flow into your investments more, so you can pay down debt faster, or so you can save more money or get your kids to college or whatever it is, pay your property taxes, right? Whatever it is, do you know how to go earn more money? Do you know how to go make more money? And often, by having this conversation with many people, um, our default, right, our default setting from the time and era that we grew up in, our default setting was go to school, learn all that you can, get an education, get a good job, someone that will employ you to take that education and put it to work, get some higher education, go get a go get a master's or a doctorate or something that's of higher education, go get a better job where they'll pay you more money for doing the same thing or getting the extra degree or going through school, like you proven yourself, you have extra competency. So then you go get a higher education, you get more pay at that job, have a couple kids, buy a house, sail off into the sunset when you're 65. That was how they taught us to earn money. That was the life. That's how they taught us to earn it. What if that plan didn't work? What if they drew up that play for us and it didn't work? Might have worked for the boomers, got it. What if it doesn't work for this generation? What if it doesn't work for Gen Z? What if it doesn't work for millennials? Like, what if it didn't work after the boomer generation? What if that strategy didn't work, but we never knew? Could that be what's happening in society right now? Was that they fed us something that used to work? We're never saying that it didn't work. It used to work. But in 2026, with our country being $37 trillion in debt, with student loan debt still being above $1 trillion, with right housing prices going up, with all the things, with wages staying stagnant, with all the stuff, unemployment numbers going through the roof, right? We saw that in July, 28,000 jobs or 22,000 jobs, something like that, went bye bye. With all of that, is the strategy to earn money, ladies and gentlemen, is the strategy to earn money still go to school, get good grades, get some higher education, get a job, work at the job? Are we still thinking about it that way? Or have we thought about there might be other ways to earn income? There might be other ways to bring in money to provide for my family. Maybe, and this is where we get to the place of how do you think about it? Is it your mindset? Are you victim mindset? Are you abundance, right? Like, do you think like the man is doing it to you? I know I have a bunch of these on our social media posts a lot of times where people start blaming the government or blaming the society or blaming the Democrats or blaming the Republicans or blaming, right? They just blame anyone as to the reason why our society is the way it is. But if you don't think of it like the victim side and you think, man, what can I do? What do I need to learn? Where am I not equipped? What am I doing wrong? If you ever get to that place where you're like, man, what am I doing wrong? Here's what you're doing wrong. We just have the wrong strategy. That's all. You just have the wrong strategy. Nothing that you're doing is inherently wrong. It used to work at some point, but right now it's just the wrong strategy. And because we don't have a place to go to get a new strategy, except for people like me, where we have this conversation sometimes, right? We don't ever get to it, right? We don't ever get to getting a new strategy. So we think all is lost. So just so you know, let me just share this with you really quickly. Something that could help you get a better strategy. Something we've been talking about is our Financial Clarity Club. Our Financial Clarity Club is something that my wife and I started so that we can build a community of people that want to get better financially. Not just with a course, not just with here's some materials. I know you've read all the materials. You've done all your Dave Ramsey stuff. You've listened to every guru. You've signed up for every program. You know how to do it. So why is your financial life still not where it needs to be? Because we figured out the thing that most people are missing. That's the hardest part of this. It's community. It's being able to talk about where you are, not just being able to take in information. It's being able to talk about where you are. Give yourself a new strategy. Start talking about the why things work, why things don't work, how they work, how they don't work. What might make sense to you isn't actually the best thing to do financially. So we created the Financial Clarity Club so we can have a community where we can just talk about money, like honestly, openly, transparently, just raw. Like, you got questions, we have things like, let's not sugarcoat them. Let's just go in, because we're all dealing with something financially. We just often don't talk about it. We just often don't have people that we talk about it with. So feel free to join in. That's why we did this, so we can start teaching people how to talk about money, so you can start earning more money, so that you can get your family to the life you want to be at. So again, we have that Financial Clarity Club. Feel free to join it. Feel free to get your information there. But most importantly, build community with us. Build community with us so we can start having those conversations. Now, on to today's topic, right? Today's topic, what we're going to talk about today anyway, because it's going into a brand new school year. I couldn't believe, by looking at the clock, we are kind of getting ready for today's conversation, today's show. And I was like, man, it's already the middle of August. Like, people are going back to school. Kids are going back to school. Teachers are already back to school in a lot of places. And so we started having this thought of like, man, what are teachers feeling? What are people feeling right now as they're kind of going back into the workforce, into the work world, right? Into most importantly, getting back into education. Here's something that we saw. We put out a poll. This was very, very telling, right? Very telling, this poll. Let me where is it? What best describes? There it is. This poll right here we put out, it said, what best describes how you're feeling about the new school year. We did this for some teachers. And they put in there 100% exhausted already. 100% of them. Like, not excited, not anxious, not cautiously optimistic, not wanting it to be more summer. They are literally already exhausted. The year hasn't even started, ladies and gentlemen. Remember how we ended last year? Remember how we ended last year on the school side of things? It was rough. Parents were ready to get it done. I think I showed you a clip of Sarah Jakes Roberts saying, like, can we just be done with the school year? Teachers were done. They were ready to get out of there, right? Send the kids. Now they're back. It's just the beginning of the year, and they're already exhausted. What's happening over in our school system? And again, you guys know the thesis here, right? Where what we're talking about. And would this be an industry that you would go into if you needed to make money? I know we need teachers. I know we need educators. But what's happening in the education space? Are teachers making money? Is just still just a labor of love? Right? You're an educator because you just love the kids, but is this financially something that's going to help? Do you need a second, third, fourth, fifth job? Right? I know a lot of educators that I work with, right, have a side thing, second side thing, all those things, right? So how are you feeling if you're an educator? How are you feeling about the school year? Already exhausted? Something that to note also, again, because we're talking about this on the show, right? If you're thinking about becoming a teacher, if you're thinking about, here's a statistic that's showing that, like, I'm not sure if this is an industry. Yes, we need teachers. Yes, we need educators. Yes, we love the kids. But is this an industry that, in the way that it's going, can continue to survive? Here's some notes. This hits close to home, but Philadelphia School District closed or consolidated 17 schools this year. Like, effective right now, like in the 2026-2027 school year, the Philadelphia School District closed 12 or closed or consolidated 17 schools. Why would they do that? Is there no money going to it? Are the kids not showing up anymore? Can they not get good teachers? Are there not enough educators? Are there not enough staff that want to work, that are getting paid this way, right? Like, we have to start asking some of these questions and looking at some of this information. On that same, Philadelphia was the highest on that chart. 17 closed or consolidated schools. The second highest one was Houston. Texas actually had 3 different school districts on the list. They have Houston School District, they have Fort Bend, they have Corpus Christi, and they have Judson, Texas. Houston closed or consolidated 12. Fort Bend and Corpus Christi both closed or consolidated 7. And then Houston or Judson closed or consolidated 4. So that's, again, all of this happening this year. You want to know who comes in third on this list? Florida, South Florida, Miami-Dade County Public Schools closed or consolidated 9. And then right up the road, Broward County Public Schools closed or consolidated 6. Major cities, Philadelphia, parts of around Houston, South Florida, all closing schools. So what is that saying about, one, the industry, right? Our school system. Is there money still being flowed there? These are public schools, by the way. So where's that money being redirected to? Because, are these cities just shutting them down because they don't have enough money to pay for them? Is it a student issue? Is it a parent issue? I think we have to get to some answers around this stuff as we're heading into a brand new school year. Let's not let the same old be the same old, right? Let's not keep doing the same old things over and over, expecting it to be a different result. We're getting the same things that are happening to us. And I think we have to be aware of that. So again, schools are shutting down. Teachers are already exhausted. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm going to put this on the screen. I'm not even going to play the video because I think you might have seen the video, or if not, just go and research it yourself. It's fine. But you'll get this screenshot right here. If you haven't seen this video of this teacher, by the way, the reason why I'm not showing it, I'll just be honest. I'll be transparent and honest with y'all. So this article has been getting a lot of attention over the past couple days. But this guy used to be a chef. This guy used to, Darius Cooks. He used to be a caterer, and he got a bunch of backlash on stuff. And I don't know people's personal stories. I'm aware of things online. But this guy got a bunch of backlash. But now he's in a viral video as a teacher, as an educator. I don't know. Right? Again, you find things on the internet. You got to learn how to double check and fact check and do all this stuff. What he's saying is true. I believe it to be true. But just coming from him, I'm pretty sure this Darius used to be a chef, and people were dragging him all across the internet about having bad food and all this stuff. And now he's an educator, and he's got a viral video. Anyways, take a look at the video. I'm not going to play it for you here, but what he says in that video is basically these kids can't read. These 17 and 18-year-olds that are leaving high school, they literally can't read. They're illiterate. And we mentioned this on a different show, different time, right? There's been a bunch of viral things out there about showing how kids in this education system can't read. They're just getting passed along, passed to the next grade. They're like cattle. They're just like a statistic. They're a number. They're not really caring about people these kids' individual learning. So again, we look at this from every angle. Teachers, is this a place where you can thrive, where you can make money, where your mental health is good, where you are right? Is this an industry you can be in for 20, 30, 40 years, right? Because our kids need us. Do they pay you well enough? Are there things that you have to deal with that you don't want to deal with anymore, right? Is this still a place for people to make money? I think we have to ask ourselves that question in the way that they're doing it right now. Two, why are they shutting down so many schools? Would this be an industry to get into? If you're like, I'm going to go to school to be a teacher, or you're at a transition period in your life, you're like, I'm just going to go back to school to be an educator, right? Is this how you're going to get there? Why are they shutting down so many schools? What's happening? And three, what's the product? Like, what's the outcome? Are the kids actually learning? If we're going through a literacy crisis, like, are kids actually learning how to read? Are they actually learning how to do they need to know how to read? I mean, I think yes, but like, I don't know. Maybe there's bigger questions here. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, this conversation around education and our education system, something I'll always share with you guys as we talk about making and earning more money. You got to look at industries that need disruption, industries that need a change. I think we can all agree. We can all agree that our education system needs disruption. It needs a change. It needs a shift. It's not working the way that it should. When you seek these types of ideas, when you look for areas, industries that can be disrupted because it's just not working efficiently or effectively, money follows that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So we are all entrepreneur. I want us all to be more entrepreneurial minded. I used to always say this when people used to debate with me 10 years ago, 7 years ago, people used to debate with me all the time. I got to go back and find some of that content. They used to debate with me. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Somebody needs to have a job. Somebody needs to work. And so I changed my language around this. And I would always say, maybe everyone doesn't need to be an entrepreneur, but everyone needs to be more entrepreneurial minded. Everyone needs to have more of a mind of ownership, more of a mind of opportunity, more of a mind of change, more of a mind of like, what value can I create? Where do I see a need? Right? Like, that is taking ownership first of your own life. Where do you see your own needs? In your health, right? You can't put down the fork. You can't seem to get to the gym. You can't stop doing bad things to your body, right? Like, where's you taking ownership of that, being more entrepreneur minded about your health instead of being the people that blame McDonald's for why we're fat, right? Taking ownership of your finances, saying, hey, it's not my job's fault, my boss's fault, the economy's fault as to the reason why I can't make money, I don't have money. It's me. I need to figure out that on my side. It's not my spouse's fault or my kid's fault or my parents' fault or any reason why I don't have good relationships. That's me, right? It's ownership. And in the same way, by you looking, you that have children, you that are educators that are working in the system and have been working in the system, this is how you make change. Don't let people that don't have their kids in the system, that just want to make the rules. No, you have your kids in the system. You should be more entrepreneurial minded to think about what is needed to make this more effective. You know your kid can't read and wants to spend all his time doing something different. Like, what can you do? Yes, let's think of ideas. What does the school need to do? What systems need to be in place? Who needs to be around? Who oversees these things? Like, if you become more entrepreneurial minded, you take more ownership of the world that's happening around you. And if you're an educator, you're in the system. You're sitting in it. You know what's not working. What's not working. So what's the solution? Instead of just complaining about what's not working. And this is a message to anyone sitting in any industry. I've heard nurses do this. I've heard educators do this. Like, any industry, you're sitting in it. All you're doing is complaining about it. Oh, this is the problem. This company, this company, that. What are you going to do about it? If you don't want to change the system or play in that system, then leave. But if you're going to sit in it, don't complain about it. Let's do something about it. If you're an educator and you're already exhausted, you're just going back to school, you're already exhausted, let's change something. There's a problem, and let's get it out. I know you're about to blame everything else that has to do with this system. The class sizes, the parents, the administration, the books, the technology, the money, the parents, the students, everything is an issue, right? Let's start where you can control and say, let's make this not an issue. Let's take ownership of this one part of it. And then let's see how good things get. If you're an educator hearing this and you're starting off the 2026 school year and you're already exhausted, it's already not going the way you want it to go. Like you already see the writing on the wall that this year is going to be worse than last year. It's going to be madness. If you already know those things, let's start thinking of solutions. Let's start having some new conversations. Maybe let's put together a forum. Maybe let's put together an educators forum where we can start having some conversations about what's happening in schools. Let's start building real community around how to go do this. Building communities of all these things. I think it's a great business idea, by the way. For those of you that are paying attention in business, the community model is going to be really important. I was trying to think of a way to just scale building communities. I know they have that school platform, but how do we scale just building communities? That's business ideas. Anyways, y'all, we got a lot of work to do, especially for educators. Take some time right now as we're getting back into the swing of things and start thinking about, man, how do we make this system better? Or is this a system that I can make money in by just disrupting or changing things? Or is this something I have to completely get away from because this thing is way too broken? Parents, you'll figure out how to educate your children. It might not be in the public school system after a while, but you'll figure out a way to educate your children. Educators, back to you. You should probably start talking to some of the parents and figure out what they need. Because if you create a solution for them, I've been saying this for years now, parents are at a place, the reason why homeschool is rising, because parents are at a place that we care more about the people that are educating our children than the institutions, than the county, than the good school district, whatever it is. We care less about that. We care more about they have these 3 teachers that are incredible, that have instilled a bunch of things in their life. I'd rather work with those 3. If you're an educator, then you got to start to understand that. If the consumer, parents, children, the consumer says, this is what we want, we would rather have 3 good teachers than have to move to this school district. That's your opportunity to make money. That's your opportunity. If you figure out solutions around that, how do you serve your customer, your consumer, the parent better, get better test scores, their kids become smarter, their kids don't have a literacy issue, their kids don't have to deal with bullying, their kids are safe, their kids get the reading, writing, arithmetic, they get into the college they want, they become the profession that they want, whatever it is, like the outcomes for the consumer, you got yourself a business there. You got yourself value add. Educators, you can do that. You're watching your system break down instead of jumping on and crying about it, which it is sad. Instead of doing that, let's make some solutions. That's my encouragement to all of you. That's my hope for all of you. Today, we just talked about educators. We talked about the industry, the teaching industry. We talked about the school, right? The industry. But like at the end of the day, this goes for all industries, y'all. Learning how to earn money is about learning how to be more entrepreneurial minded, where you take more ownership. You might not be the number one. You might never be the number one. Your character buildup might not make you a number one. It does not make you less entrepreneur minded. You can still have ownership of your life. You don't need to be out in front and A-type to like take control of your mind and your health and your finances and your business and your ideas and your value and your self-worth. Like it doesn't take anything. It just takes a reframe. So we got to go off and do that, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we get to that life that you want. We're talking about educators, but we're going to keep this summer talking and through the fall, talk about all these industries to figure out how can you go out and make more money? What industries do you need to go be a part of that are going to help you get to where you need to go financially? You need a better strategy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you need a better strategy. Hear me one more time. You need a better strategy of how to earn money. I bet you if we sat down and talked, you don't have a strategy to really earn money. You might have a strategy to invest. You might have a strategy to pay off debt. You might have a strategy to save money. You might have a strategy in your business of what business to start, but you actually don't have a strategy of how to earn money. That's where we need to talk. That's where your focus needs to go. Forget the economy, all the other things. Do you know how to earn money? If the answer is no, we got to learn. Jump into our Financial Clarity Club. Stay locked in on Biz Buzz Live. Shoot me DMs, shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to help you through the journey. We'll be back here next Friday for another episode of Biz Buzz where we're talking all things industry of how to make money. Until next time, y'all.